Alright guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about the new community patch and everything that changed with the Necromancer first, because that's my favorite character, and it's all about me. So we're going to talk about the skill changes, not the guns or anything. So the first skill change was made of sterner stuff. It was originally only 1% damage reduction for you and Death Trap, with a 3% melee damage for Death Trap. And with all 5 points, without a class mod, they'd max out at 5% damage reduction and 15% melee damage. Which now you can see from my screen, this is post-patch, is up to 20% damage reduction and 30% melee with all 5 skill points. And it got buffed to 4% damage reduction per point and 6% melee damage per point. And this is not even with a class mod. So, you can go ahead and do that. And before, people would usually choose 20% cooler instead of made of sterner stuff, just because the cooldown rate seemed better at the time when you were only getting 5% maximum damage reduction. But now with this change, made of sterner stuff seems to be better. And the next skill we're going to be talking about is more pep. It increases elemental effect chance. At first, it was 2% burn, corrode, and slag increase with a 4% electrocute increase, with a maximum of both being 10% ignite, corrode, and slag, with a 20% electrocute. Now all these were doubled, so now it's up to 8% electrocute, 4% ignite, 4% corrode, and 4% slag, with a maximum of 20% for ignite, corrode, and slag, and 40% electrocute. And you can see I'm using a class mod right now, so it's even doubled more. So now it's 80% for me and 40% for the rest, which is super nice, especially the slag if you want to use the slaga or something like that. Next skill that changed was Shock Storm, and it's a kill skill that causes area of effect damage whenever an enemy has been killed with a critical hit. The community patch has doubled the radius of the skill, but I don't know anyone that uses it. Maybe I'll still play around with it, but it seems pretty counterintuitive to try to get critical hits when almost all builds run Anarchy. But maybe if you had like a Discord type build, this could work. And let me know like if you guys use this and if you think it's worthwhile and if it's something I should check out. But I really don't know. I've never really used this skill just because there's other things that seem slightly better for the most part in this tree if you do decide to go down it. Next thing that changed was Wires Don't Talk, and this skill increases the shock and electrocute damage per skill point. It was originally 3% for each point with a 5-point maximum of 15% without a class mod. It has now been buffed to 5% per point with a maximum of 25%, which gives a large incentive to use shock weapons. And I have a class mod again, so it boosts up to 50%, which is really cool because this, coupled with more pep, just like I don't know, gives a lot more shock incentive on Gaige. And the last skill that changed, it was with Claws, and it's a melee skill that uses Anarchy stacks and causes 0.6% damage stack while also healing Gaige. This skill has been buffed to 1.25 damage per stack, which in my opinion still doesn't make it worth it going all the way down the ordered chaos tree, but I mean, if that's your thing. And also I know the card says 1.3, but that's just a error on their part. They couldn't get it to say 1.25 with the rounding. But overall, these skills that they've changed have been really cool, and at least for me seemed like they're worth it. Especially the more pep, Wires Don't Talk, Made of Sterner stuff are all things I use, and they really do help when you get to the OP levels. So that's what I have to talk about today. Like the video if you guys learned something. Let me know what you guys want to see next on the community patch. Subscribe, and keep coming back to see more Borderlands stuff. Maybe I don't know, do some more stuff in the future. Thanks again.